What's up, guys? Welcome to another week of the Inside TFM podcast. I am your host, Rob Fox. I'm joined by my co-host. You guys are co-hosts. You're not guests. You know, it's ours. I feel bad saying host.
Why? Yeah, we're all co.
I have co-host in my Twitter bio.
Yeah, we're all co-hosts.
We're all
here.
co-hosting. You're the guy that says the stuff in the beginning.
You're the MC, like you were for that one event.
Yeah. For the Virgin Flip Cup.
Yeah.
Who the person I was there with is here today to talk to us, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh, that's the best story.
We're also joined today by Brad Key.
Pretty great segue there.
Yeah.
Virgin Flip Cup.
Brad is TFM's ad guy. And
Ad Brad.
Yeah, we call him Ad Brad.
It gets really confusing. Now we also have someone named Ad.
He also has
we have Ad.
He also has a more X-rated nickname that I don't know if he's comfortable sharing on this podcast, but I enjoy it quite a bit.
You go ahead and do what you do.
It's
now you've dug yourself in there.
Although it's not a nickname outside of Grand X. It's Grand X specific.
Is it?
Which is odd because.
Do you know
your
name
involving your last name?
Yes.
Bradley Keybump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
First time I ever heard that, I was working here. They're like, oh, all sales guys need to do cocaine.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's part of
the
it.
Trick of the trade.
Yes, we have Brad, who's the ad guy, and Ad, who's the marketing guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it gets kind of confusing.
But anyway, Brad is here to talk to us because Brad is a longtime friend and fraternity brother
And roommate
in
the past.
Of our very own Ham. They were both KAs at Mizzou. They're both from Austin, correct?
Correct. Although we didn't know each other in the earlier years, like high school.
Yeah.
He went to private school like a bitch.
Yeah,
I
I
went
was
to public school.
That makes a lot of sense.
For any first-time
went to
listeners out there,
first off, you went to Westlake.
Ham is our producer.
Exactly.
Who we, I don't know if we hate to love him or love to hate him.
Both.
No, I don't love him though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you would hate to love him, but you love to hate him.
I love to hate him. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess that's what it is.
Love to hate him is really the only way to put it.
Are we doing video today?
Yeah, we're getting filmed and shit.
Is it possible, like, is this a 360 camera where Ham is also on camera? No, he's off camera.
No.
That's probably a good thing.
Ham's just lurking behind the camera.
Yeah.
Do you have a mic back there, Ham? No? Okay, that's probably good.
That's how Ham likes it, whether it's in a podcast or I assume the woman locked in his basement. You know, he likes to be behind the camera. But anyway, we're here to talk just about
This whole entire show is we're just gonna rag on Ham.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
It's called Hampocalypse.
Ham calls it the Hampocalypse.
Hampocalypse now.
Yeah,
There's nobody better in the world to tell embarrassing Ham stories and who knows more about Ham than Brad.
Yeah.
Hampocalypse now just makes me think of like Ham with a bottle of schnapps in like a rundown hotel room in like Da Nang or like Ho Chi Minh. Isn't that from Apocalypse Now? Where he's like smashing the mirror with his fists.
Yeah, it's like the opening of it.
Yeah, no, that's Hampocalypse Now to me in my head.
Except for Ham, it would be like in a mid-sized town's Holiday Inn.
It's like
it'd be like a Holiday Inn outside of Dallas.
It's like Bronson, Missouri.
Yeah.
and the horror refers to whatever's going on in Micah's crotch region.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we're gonna get into some stories here after we do our weekly RG promo that I forget about every week.
Yeah. I always sit here patiently and you try to skip it.
And then I'm like, oh, no, wait, we got to sell shit. So let's sell some shit, Jake.
All right, guys.
Hold on. Do cocaine. Like Brad said, just do a quick line.
I didn't say that.
Salesmen need cocaine.
I'm not a salesman.
Well, you are right now.
I guess I am.
And you're wearing sunglasses inside.
Maybe I beat you to it.
Yeah.
No, it's because there's blinding sun right here. Ham, let's start at the Ham ragging now. Ham bought these blackout shades because we have west-facing windows in the podcast,
and we
room.
Always record at like 4 p.m.
Yeah, it's 4 p.m. right now, and the sun is literally is at eye level with me. So
yeah,
I'm wearing.
I don't have glasses, and I'm gonna have glaucoma by the end of this.
Well, if you have glaucoma, you can get like medical weed and stuff. So
not in Texas.
Yeah, not here. But anyway, so.
Oh, Ham just threw me his glasses.
Oh, look at that.
Why do they smell like Filet-O-Fish?
All right, guys, at rowdygentleman.com this week, you'll be listening to this on Thursday. So Thursday, we've had a deal week going on for the past week. Thursday's deal, or today's deal, whatever you want to call it, is up to 75% off of sale items. So our sale collection's already like discounted. You can get that stuff up to an additional like
What's in that?
American flag tank tops, Hawaiians, since they're, like last season, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some sweatshirts, some hats, all that good stuff. But we're going to be having a pretty big select sale too on Friday through Sunday, just for the whole weekend. It's up to 70% off like our favorite items that we still have on the site.
So it's just a bunch of Rowdy Gentlemen shit that's like basically for free.
Yeah, it's basically you're paying like for a lot of stuff you're paying 30% of what it normally costs because we got to make room for some new spring stuff.
Do we still have any ass jeans in stock?
No ass jeans. We've never had those in stock, Jared. But yeah, so check it out. Just go to rowdygentleman.com. We got a bunch of deals.
There's
no code.
No
I
code
mean,
this week.
yeah, but for you podcast listeners, you can use the code TFM20, and that will get you an additional 20% off.
That actually might be just free.
We might be paying you to take the stuff. I'm not sure, but yeah, use the code TFM20.
That sounds like a lot of percentage.
We sound not to go back to Scott Elder here, but we like really sound like used car salesmen right now. We're like, it's like,
and if you do this,
I'm paying you. Like it's.
Yeah, but
you can't afford to not take advantage of this deal.
I just don't look like I'm rolling in pussy right now, and Scott Elder always does.
Scott Elder, yeah, we're gonna have Madison on to tell that story later. But our CEO
played cards.
He like played Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity.
With
That's
Scott
right.
Elder.
I thought it was
Scott
strip
Elder was
poker.
like shit faced. And I heard that Scott Elder stunk of women and bourbon. Is what I.
That's awesome.
Scott Elder is. I just made the women part up, but apparently he was pretty wasted. Scott Elder is the guy we always do an impression of.
Dude, Scott Elder and Cards Against Humanity. I just want to hear him reading cards like German dungeon porn, shit like that. Just
I just want to see
Bukaki.
I just want to see him stinking of women. Is what I.
How do you see someone stink?
Stink of women?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Is there a visible attribute?
He's covered in
stank.
He's covered in glitter. His
His
undone.
knuckles are bloodied.
Oh, Jesus.
Does the audience have any idea who Scott Elder is?
What's that?
Do they have any reference?
We've referenced him in the past.
We use him a lot.
Yeah.
Have you linked,
He's a
linked
recurring-
to a commercial or something?
He's a
There
recurring
needs to be
character.
some sort of action.
He's
Have we
definitely
linked him a commercial to him?
Wait, are we still doing an endorsement?
Well, we've floated in and out of these
we go like
commercials.
back and forth. TFM20, rowdygentleman.com.
You ever read Ulysses?
Very natural.
All right, so anyway, Ham,
Yes,
will you
I
pull
have.
up
It's
the
very
the
similar.
list of shit
Yeah,
you want?
that's what we do.
Yeah. I'm
Stream
sure
of
the audience
consciousness?
can't tell if they're getting a deal or
Yeah,
listening to content
we really like we'll just weave it in.
Oh,
All
if
right,
you
so
think that's bad, you should hear
let's
our
get this-
actual advertorials.
let's get this fucking Hampocalypse
Oh my God.
underway. So, like I said, Brad was Ham's fraternity brother, and Ham was president of that fraternity. They've lived together, all this stuff. So, Brad, let's talk about. I guess the first story here is Ham had a girlfriend he used to physically abuse.
He's going off script here.
I'm just kidding. That's not on there. But no.
I like that start though. Not the abuse, but Ham doing it.
Because
he's a piece of shit.
Furious when
He's
she
a piece of shit.
She used to manage a Pizza Hut, and when she wouldn't come home with the stuffed crust pizza,
Where's the old shit?
he would just go off.
You're very creative.
But no, all right. So the first one on this list is MFG.
I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
Yeah. So I think this is unique to Mizzou.
Okay.
So MFG refers to the person in your pledge class that is the shittiest pledge. So that's the most fucked goat.
I think
Oh.
that's unique
Is that-
to KA.
Well, I feel like
Mizzou KA. Maybe.
anyone who has pledged can relate to whoever their shittiest
Absolutely.
pledge brother is. Like, you generally would have some sort of name for that.
Yeah.
We just called them the MFG, the most fucked goat.
Because the pledges were goats.
Yes, we were goats.
Yeah.
That was our favorite barnyard animal.
Does
Interesting.
MFG also could stand for Micah fucks goats?
So it's interesting that he started his life off in fraternity culture as the most fucked goat. Because
Of course he was.
it's very telling,
Yeah.
It kind of
is.
sets him up for the
Sets
rest
the
of his
tone.
life, right?
Yeah.
I think that's accurate. So going back, there's a lot of ways we could go with this, but just to think of a couple of instances off the top of my head, Micah would ignore all of his cleaning duties 100% of the time. We had to live in the house as pledges.
Yeah, so that's something that a lot of
So-
people don't realize, is that at Mizzou, which is, I guess, pretty unique to Mizzou, pledges live in house almost always.
Do they still do that?
Yeah.
That's so weird to me because, like, if once or twice a semester, we're balling a handful of kids from the pledge class. Like, what do you do if you're living in the house? You get balled.
Yeah.
So they did that to somebody, and they neophyted him, and then he just kind of like was there for a while. And
What
then
is-
finally they were like, all right, well,
What do you call? So neophyte.
it's when you're not initiated after pledgeship.
But you're not a pledge either.
What?
It's kind of like a one probationary semester.
It's like
to like not be
purgatory.
a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so like neophyte for us was just like basically like you're about to go into Hell Week. You're a neophyte now. Like,
yes,
kind of
that's
thing.
also technically what you are. Like when I was
Okay.
initiated, I was technically a neophyte because pledgeship was over.
Right.
So if you were never initiated, your neophyte term would be much longer, and that's what would happen basically for the kids who lived in house that didn't get.
At least for us, you were only a neophyte for a semester, and then if you didn't, and then that was it after that. Like if you could maybe get a second chance for some weird reason. A lot of times it was grades. So like,
you guys kept track of that?
yeah. So like, if
That's
you
weird,
didn't,
dude.
if you were like a good pledge and they liked you, but you didn't make initiation grades, you got an extra semester to basically be in the house and get your GPA up to be initiated.
Okay.
That is what like probably 95% of neophytes were.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, this sets it up really nicely for me to understand.
Let's
it better.
see, where was I?
Oh, so you live in the house?
Micah, he neglected all his
so
cleaning
I'm
duties.
framing the situation where Micah. It's an instance where Micah showed off his abilities as the most fucked goat. So we come home and in the fall semester at Mizzou, everybody, like all the pledges, have to do what's called pomping. We have like a homecoming parade. We do all these different things. Pomping is, for those of you who don't know, I guess most people probably do know, but basically you take a piece of tissue paper, wrap it around a pencil, stick it to a board, and that board ends up being 30 feet tall, and it takes hours and hours and hours.
It's like if you're a fall pledge at Mizzou, it's like half your fucking pledgeship is just doing that pomp.
At least.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, you're just a pomp slave.
that's what you do by night. You clean the house by day. And if you're Micah, you don't do anything. So it got to the point where like it kind of festered and people were kind of starting to get pissed off. And
What was he doing
Yeah,
in lieu
instead,
of
yeah.
this?
that is such a good question.
Wait, you don't even
Um,
know?
No, I mean,
I bet you he
I
was
could
walking,
speculate.
I bet you he was walking
speculate.
around like
Speculate for us.
I
What
bet
was
you he
Micah
was like
doing?
walking around like correcting people's grammar or something like annoying and like talking about how they're like he doesn't like American cinema, you know?
Yeah.
They'd be like, Mike. They'd
no, I think he developed his disdain for American cinema
be like, this is true. by the way.
as time progressed.
Okay.
Back in the day, I think he was more of just like internet trolling before there was even internet trolling. I think he just like surf around on like ESPN before there was like you had to have like an account to go view their nice insider content. I feel like Micah spent a lot of time just
Based on
reading.
the interactions Ham has been having with some of our followers on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Tweet at Ham and he will tweet mean shit back at you.
I watched him call a 15-year-old a shithead.
This kid was clearly in high school, and you were like, "Fuck you, motherfucker!"
Yeah.
like I could absolutely see Ham in like early YouTube.
Wait,
be
you
like,
don't even like clever troll it. You just call them
Oh, no,
swear
no,
words.
I mean,
he
yeah.
called one of our old interns and a freelance writer a hack.
Yeah, in our Facebook writing.
Someone
group.
we were
All
that
our-
was interviewed on this show.
Yeah, Wes.
Yeah, Wes.
They called Wes a hack. I could totally see like in the early YouTube days, like Micah finding some girl like singing a song from Aladdin and just being like, "This was awful. Kill yourself, bitch."
He really embraces the role of villain.
That's true.
does good
You've
at
told me that too. You've told me that in
it's a
person.
common
He's
theme.
a villain.
No, he's accepted it.
Yeah.
And he just plays to his strengths,
Makes
which is
so much
The
sense.
week of Missouri, Florida, like me and Joe are talking
This
It's-
year?
any year. I think last year too. Micah just kind of strolls like into the office, like, "Oh, you ready to get that ass kicked?" Like just keeps walking. It's like, what the fuck?
Okay, so what's one thing Micah was doing? If you were pumping or doing productive pledge work, what was Micah doing? Probably.
So that's what we've been building up to this whole time. So Micah just disappears, right? And so no one knows where he goes, and we basically have to pick up the slack. So one night we decide that we're going to take all Micah's sheets and freeze them. And this is in December in Columbia, Missouri. It's freezing cold outside. So we freeze his sheets. This is pretty standard inter pledge class hazing. and he comes down and kind of like brushes it off nonchalantly, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't deserve that," like blah blah blah. And I guess it struck a wrong chord because the pledge class decided to then pick Ham up, carry him across the street where there is this little man-made lake with a sheen of ice on top of it.
Yeah.
And we tossed him in. So he's
Did you get
freezing with his
ponded?
sheets. He got ponded.
I know the exact pond you're talking about. I would have paid to see that.
I have a bike in the bottom of that pond. Someone threw my bike in there.
Still there? That's
I would imagine. I'm not getting it out.
They're not
Yeah.
dragging that pond.
Yeah,
man.
no.
Yeah.
man.
Wow.
What?
How did it
thing-
feel, Ham?
Yeah, what was it like to
Just
get
tell
taught?
us.
Oh, he doesn't have a mic.
Yeah, well,
'cause-
he can just tell us real quickly, a few words.
I know it was cold outside the water. I would imagine it was pretty.
Ham said it sucked.
Yeah, Hanson
It was
and
unjust.
still believes it's unjust to this day. This sounded completely just.
Okay, so how many pledge class members did it take to pick up Ham?
I'd say there was a base of 7 with support by an additional 6.
At that time,
And then
how can you
there
fit
was-
13 people around him? There were
It was
26
like
hands.
7 were dragging him, and the other 6 were like, "Yeah, motherfucker!"
That's just moral support.
yeah,
Yeah.
And you really can't underestimate the anger of a exhausted kid who's been cleaning the house for weeks, and then this
It's a
goes
big
down.
house too.
Yeah. It's
So
large.
he was fighting
2 houses.
He was
Yeah.
just fighting you so hard that it took 13 of you to move him into the water.
He's kicking.
Yeah, well, clearly he wasn't. If he still thinks it's unjust, clearly he wasn't.
And then there's probably another 5 or 6 cheering in the background. It was a group effort. We definitely bonded.
And did that
night.
make any difference? You guys bonded over
It was
throwing
a,
Micah
yeah,
in the
it was a
bucket?
brotherhood event.
Pledge class bonding.
It
We'll
made-
always,
have been, like, just
we'll always
continued.
remember that moment. That
we
we
just continued through pledge classes, but it wasn't like another kid. It was just Micah.
Every
Every
time.
Every
single-
pledge class throws Micah into the lake.
it's a special
You're-
tradition.
dude, you're like getting upset about this over there. It was wrong at the time. It was wrong at the time.
Ham said it was wrong at the time. It
It's
still
still
is.
wrong. It's
All right,
still wrong.
so is that what lake? Is
That's
that what
what
lake
lake
means
means.
as well?
Yes, that would.
I have a
so-
side
okay.
question. Just a one offer. Scale of 1 to 10. How ugly is the ugliest girl Micah ever brought home?
Oh, I don't want to participate in all that.
Oh,
Tons of beautiful people, I'm sure.
oh, come on.
Boo.
Dude, Brad's giving you some like nice help here.
All right, you do me a favor. Give me the phone number of one of the other people who threw him into the pond and who still probably doesn't like him because we'll get those answers from them another week. But all right, so trash can punch. What is this in reference to? This sounds like a good story.
So this is as we were kind of growing up, going through the frat. We introduced a trash can punch mix to the University of Missouri. I think it was original at the time. It included Everclear, 4 bottles of vodka, like some powdered lemonade, and then the cheapest like knockoff Sprite you could get. 4 bottles of that, like the one with the lightning bottle.
So you would
lightning
say
outside.
this is when Ham really started to grow into a predator. This is kind of when he came into his own.
He's like, wait, no, let's throw the grain alcohol in. Yeah. for the mass open source alcohol.
Brad's
yeah.
like staring. He's like, "This is gonna be a fun party," and Ham's like tapping his fingers together in the background, like, "Yes."
What else?
Yes.
The powdered lemonade's always a good call in Hunch Punch. Though.
It's must.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very good.
Hunch punch, is that what you call it?
Yeah, Hunch Punch.
So did you guys call it trash can punch? Because we called it jungle juice.
We called it
Jungle
WAP.
juice.
I'm sure it had a lot of names.
WAP.
I remember throwing a bag of it. It was like in a trash bag, right? And I threw it out my window the next day because it was stinking up my room. And it sat out there for like a week. And when the bag was finally moved, the pavement was like rotting underneath it.
So you guys were making trash can punch.
It
that
sounds
was
like acid.
dissolving concrete.
I was kind of waiting, like when he was listing out the ingredients, like, yeah, it was Everclear, 4 bottles of vodka, and that's it. Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, that's cool though. So what happened with this trash can punch?
Oh, that's pretty much sums it up. We were just
That was our contribution.
yeah.
That was your
our
Oh, that was
Contribution.
your big contribution was a trash can full of alcohol.
Your big contribution was
this
open
is how
source
Micah positioned
intoxicants.
himself into leadership because I was a social chair at the time. He came along. He kind of helped me balance the books, even though there was zero responsible spending happening at the time.
Right.
And
Another one of Kay's social chairs that I knew a couple years later from like your chapter told me that when they would go on formal to Memphis, at least for them, like he used him and the president bought themselves like a fucking suite while everyone else had like normal rooms. What's the Peabody with the Ducks? At the Peabody in Memphis where the Ducks like take the elevator, walk down or whatever. He was like, yeah, we like used like since we planned it and shit, like we got ourselves a suite. And I was like, how much more was that?
I can 100% confirm that happened.
Yeah.
So I did that.
We would have been pissed if that happened in our chapter.
we would have kicked you out of your position
like that.
No, you would have given me high fives. But what really happened, I did that, right?
You did that too?
Yeah. But at the time, I had a cat, and I brought my cat with me from Missouri to the Peabody, where there's like these ducks and stuff, and it like rolled in my bag into the Peabody.
So sorry, you shoved
we
your
rolled
cat
into
in a
suite.
bag.
That's right.
And took it to Memphis with you
for formal.
Yes, and this cat was so badass. Like
your
whenever I
formal
was
day was
driving,
the cat
it
in
was
the
like
bag
right
in
on my
Columbia?
shoulder. Like it was like a parrot. It was amazing.
This is a loyal cat you brought.
Wait, that was
Did
your
the
date?
cat
Was
attack the ducks?
No, I had a
okay,
date.
okay. I was like, you didn't go stag with the cat.
Who also already approved of the cat, who was encouraging of the cat bringing. So
Did the cat
cat
attack
got
the ducks?
brought.
How did the cat interact with the ducks?
I mean, there's like ducklings and shit.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of Peabodys.
I prevented any sort of interaction, but there was some low growls and hisses coming from my bags.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that happened for free.
So that's just a tradition.
I wouldn't say it's a tradition. I'd say if you're kind of a scumbag and you're the social chair and you want to do that, then
there you go.
I don't think anyone can stop you.
To get an idea of Ham's drunken rage, isn't there a story about a Jimmy John's?
We're gonna get to that.
Is
I
that-
believe.
Indeed, yes.
Ah.
We're gonna do a my bookie read here. I'll handle this one,
Okay.
guys. All right, listen, guys. You've heard us talk about mybookie.ag for weeks
For
and
several
weeks
weeks.
and weeks for several weeks now, and we're still doing it. This is my bookie. You know, we told you that you can bet on Chinese prisoners fighting. You can bet on men who think they're dragons to see which one has the biggest penis of all the dragon men. I mean, you can bet on. Oh, and apparently
he edited that out. What the fuck?
Ham, you edit everything good. I bet you're gonna edit out the fucking joke about you being a predator too. It's just it's gonna be.
The abuse one.
He has a lot of power.
This is gonna be a 25-second long podcast.
Do you guys?
It's gonna be like, yeah. So Ham, and then it's just gonna be like, Ham is really cool. I like him. He's just.
It's like speak and spell,
But anyway, my bookie will give you a big bonus if you use the promo code FRAT.
How big of a bonus?
no one knows.
A big bonus.
No one knows.
Really, really big.
Big bonus.
Huge.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys ever talk about Casino Friday and people hanging out with us and stuff?
Yeah, we do sometimes. We
There's
like
like
play
a custom TFM table.
on
It's kind of
Friday.
badass.
Yeah, on
Are
Friday
we doing that again?
we
Yeah,
gamble.
it's back
Oh, it's
back.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Casino Friday's back.
after a 2-week hiatus.
2 weeks.
Yeah, we all play blackjack and shit on mybookie.ag, which you can do.
So
on
1:30 Central on Fridays?
That's correct.
1:30 Central Fridays. Join us at mybookie.ag on the TFM blackjack table.
If you don't
I
want to
usually-
gamble, just come talk shit in the
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah.
A lot
do
of
whatever
people
you
do
want.
that, Yeah.
Yeah, watch Micah call all the dealers mommy
Mommy.
Or he just refers to himself as daddy.
or
He does
himself as
refer to
daddy.
one of the
himself as
two.
daddy.
Yeah, if you want to know what Ham sounds like when he's stirring trash can punch, just read what he types in the
Hey, what's that,
mybookie.ag.
hey, what's that smell like?
Expert or rookie, you got to check out MyBookie. Sign up today. Dogfighting is coming soon, I think.
Not.
Yeah.
Is it not?
No, I can confirm that it would not be coming.
What about
soon.
cockfighting?
Cockfighting is a must.
Afraid not,
Do you
gentlemen.
guys want to just
Okay,
like,
how about
I didn't
cockfighting
mean- I
without
didn't mean like
spurs?
animals.
Cockfighting without spurs.
Do
Just
you guys
beak
wanna-
on beak.
yeah, do you guys want to just like quit your jobs with me and then like periscope cockfights and take bets like online?
Dude, it's like legal in the Dominican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this place isn't in America.
I honestly would not feel bad about watching it.
I have this idea.
What is AG?
I have this
Antigua?
idea for
Antigua,
a new
yes.
sports betting event that's a
Mhm.
combination of a cockfight and a donkey show.
Ooh, what is it?
It's called a cockfight.
It's a cockfight followed by a donkey show.
That's the opening
right,
entertainment.
we're gonna let
Watch a
you,
chicken get fucked before a donkey does.
It's like the halftime show.
I don't know if you caught that, but I'm saying the donkey's getting fucked.
Yeah, the donkey
Yeah.
is getting fucked.
It's not a donkey show.
Yes,
The
that's what a
donkey
donkey
fucks-
show is.
No, the donkey fucks
Oh,
a
well,
woman.
Or it gets like blown or jerked off by a woman.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't normally penetrate.
But I think there's donkey shows where the donkey gets fucked too.
As long as the
there's a
donkey
donkey
is
show.
engaging in sexual
There's
activity.
a donkey show
I
where
think
the
it's a
donkey
show
fucks.
with a donkey.
It's called The Cold Case of John Benet Ramsey.
Oh, we talked about this for a second on the
We
golf
did.
course.
We
Are you
did.
going to go into
Oh, so-
detail? I want to know
no,
about your
no.
job.
We're done with that. That
We'll
joke's-
talk about Jean Benet some other time. I mean, our listeners know what happened.
We're truthers here.
Brad
Yeah.
Brad really wants to know. We can bring it up maybe later.
I'm
at
a
some
fan.
point. We told
It
him
makes sense, generally.
right?
after we
I
here's
don't
the
know
thing.
what
After we
you're-
golfed, we told him there was a theory that we couldn't talk about because the waiter was right there.
He only threw like a couple of like key words out there.
Yeah.
And I know
I said
donkey
I
show
believe we
or
said
something was
donkey, landscaper, and that might.
I mean,
God,
but the
we're-
more
we're
you think
so
about
it
it,
was sodomy. It was sodomy.
the more you think about it makes sense. And I was talking to my mom about
Goldman's
this
about to give up on life over here.
Christmas.
You're talking to your mom about it?
No,
Yeah,
I
my
love
mom's a
this theory.
lawyer. My mom's a defense lawyer, and I told this theory to my mom, and she was like, "That's insane." And I was like, "So you're telling me a girl that size could survive 2 donkey dicks, Mom? You fucking idiot!" And then
It's like you're a lawyer, not a fucking
she never come.
anatomist.
Yeah, she never
Like,
come back
yeah.
for that. So anyway, yeah,
Anatomist.
I think it's pretty
That's a new
airtight.
occupation.
Anyway, we're gonna let you listen. We're gonna let you hear from our other podcasts real
this?
quick, guys.
That's an
I gotta throw it together. We're gonna let you hear from our other podcast real quick. I'll be right back.
We're having a side comment. Don't worry about it.
You're sitting at your desk. You're bored. You're combing through spreadsheets wondering how the hell you're supposed to distract yourself. You know what the answer is to that? The Touching Base podcast.
You got time to kill, baby. Kill it with us, Touching Base. Just give us a shot to earn your business. I promise we will not let you down. Thank you.
Subscribe on iTunes.
Hello, I'm Ross Bullen, and I'm here to tell you about our sports podcast called Backdoor Cover, hosted by myself and Dylan Chivalry.
What's up, Billy?
How you doing, Dylan?
Fantastic.
Great. If you like sports or you have a gambling problem of some kind, we are probably the podcast for you. Again, the name is Backdoor Cover. We're on iTunes and SoundCloud. Every week we talk about the biggest stories in sports, pick some games. We talk about life.
We just have a lot of fucking fun.
We do. We have a great time. Hit us up, Backdoor Cover.
Hey, you looking for a new podcast? Give Dudes Doing Business a shot. We are a business podcast. We give you insight into what we're doing here at the company, but we also bring in people from the outside, some third-party folks to come on and talk to us, because business is a sport, as a wise man once said.
That was you, right?
That was not me, but it may as well be, because I've adopted it as my moniker.
There you go.
It's
yeah,
my life now.
fresh out of school, stuck in, cubicle purgatory, no matter where you're at. We're just business without buzzwords. So I think we might improve that commute of yours just a little bit.
Dudes Doing Business. Check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud.
All right, and before we get back to ham, let's talk about some other food real quick. God, I'm a fucking pro. I just want to talk to you guys about Blue Apron. You should check it out. It's the grocery delivery or the meal delivery service. Like, they give you all the groceries that you need for it and directions to cook and stuff like that. It's really convenient, especially if you like to cook, but either aren't very creative with it, or you just want someone to tell you what to do. It's kind of liberating in a way. But anyway, check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping. That just by going to blueapron.com/inside. You're honestly, it's really good food. You're gonna love how it tastes. You get incredible home cooked meals with Blue Apron every day. I mean, it's a really convenient service, and it's blown up too. That's blueapron.com/inside. Okay, so we've got some introductory stuff about ham. We've got some good stories about ham so far, but what I was going to say now is, why don't you, I guess, tell us the story about supposedly a really good one. Tell us a story about why Micah was no longer allowed around Columbia, Missouri grade schools.
Balls in your court.
Yeah, well,
You're
that was
looking at
part
me?
of the problem, was balls in a court. No, all right.
just
Micah
basketball.
didn't expose himself to kids on a basketball court. It was just-
That was years later.
yeah.
Micah, isn't that how you address their personal attacks? Is just with silence, awkward silence periods?
Yeah.
He usually
Unfortunately,
shakes his head.
yeah, he's
occasional
just
nods.
like, oh boy, here we go.
Uh-huh.
But no. All right, so we
Same
actually
difference.
do have supposedly pretty amusing story here. All it says on the run sheet is Jimmy John's.
This one really highlights Micah's dark side. And it was in broad daylight. So this is a Mizzou home game. I want to say 2006-ish. We were juniors, or sophomores or juniors.
Who was quarterback, Brad Smith or Chase Daniel?
Chase Daniel.
Okay.
Chipotle Chase, as we used to call him.
So,
did you hear the rumor that he got double stuffed Chipotle burritos before every game?
I believe that. He was a chubby little guy
Well,
when he was at Mizzou. I mean, he was just fat, actually.
Fun fact, Chipotle Chase. So anyways, this is a Saturday game day, and I'm the social chair, so we've loaded up like 1,000 cases of Natty Light and taken it down to, what do they call a tailgate spot? Like Frat Pit?
Frat Pit,
which is rest in peace, I think.
It's
right?
long
it's
gone.
But now apparently there's, anyways, not to get off on a tangent.
Now
Apparently
they tailgate in
tailgating is amazing
Greektown.
there now, which I haven't seen.
It's
but
fucking Mardi Gras, dude.
which sounds pretty good. So this is a day game, and I don't know if we won or lost. We were highly, highly intoxicated by like 11:45.
Yep, sounds about
The
right.
game kicked off. I have no idea. It's been too long.
And
since then.
Ham is intensely intoxicated as well.
Yes, there's been too many games for me to remember what happened in the game to give you any sort of context. I just know that we left that game, and we were very, very, very drunk.
Okay.
Right? So this is probably, we made it through an hour of the game maybe. And
I'm surprised you even went in, to be honest.
I'm kind of surprised too. But so the streets are pretty empty at this time. Like, we're kind of walking, just the two of us, up towards the bars, and we decide we're going to stop into Field House, and they've got whatever their drink specials at the time. It's something ridiculous.
Okay.
And this is broad daylight. It's like 1 p.m. And so Micah likes calling, what are the foosball games? Are they called hurricanes? Is that one of tornadoes? Micah likes to call the tornado the Rolls Royce of foosball, which they had one. So the reason that's significant
fuck
is
is that? I don't
It's
know.
a
like a
foosball table.
manufacturer of the table.
Oh,
so it's
okay,
like the
okay.
finest quality table in the
Okay.
eyes of Micah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So he spots this thing, and he's like, oh, my God. It's the Rolls Royce of foosball tables. We have to go play that. I remember this
So
vividly.
fucking Ham.
And
Like,
and he like I acquiesced to his request to go play some foosball.
okay.
And we go over there, and there's probably like 7 or 8 people in the bar, and he drops the ball down in the middle and just goes fucking ape shit on this thing, and just like swinging as hard as he can and smashing into the table. And there's no one in there. Like there's no reason for him to behave this way. It was just pure carnal impulse. How to hit a ball as hard as you can with these spinning
Is
sticks.
he any good at foosball?
Not that day. Well, it depends on who you're asking, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Anyhow, we were soon removed from that bar, kicked out.
Because of his
You got kicked
foosball?
out 'cause-
Yes, it was
So,
that.
He was playing.
Was he
maniacal.
like moving the table around?
I can't remember
He-
that long ago.
I-
It's
here's
been
what I'm
too long.
imagining.
I know he did something that was worth kicking us out, because I was like, that's fair.
I bet you that Ham, and maybe you can remember this, I don't know, but what I'm imagining is this. Ham is shit-faced. Ham is going ham on that fucking foosball table to the point of absurdity, moving it around, screaming at no one. And then one of the bartenders in
crying.
this empty bar was probably like, hey, man, cool it. And drunk-ass Ham probably turning around just like he does on Twitter and just goes, fuck you, motherfucker.
So one thing Micah developed as we were going through college is he would get drunker and drunker, and he'd get this look in his eye, and then it was like a switch flipped, and he just started casually spitting on the floor indoors, no matter where he was. He just didn't care. Just started spitting on the
Dude,
floor.
that's such a trash.
It's
human.
bizarre. So I'd imagine
That's
he's
like a garbage. That's a garbage can human move, dude. Just like, oh yeah, this is my trash can now.
so he was probably spitting on the floor,
He's not even dipping. He's just spitting.
and he liked wearing like these bright yellow corduroy pants. And then if anyone looked at him funny, he'd be like, "Yeah, they're yellow. Go fuck yourself." For no reason.
I
Just,
would, dude, I would
just-
hate running into you in public.
just antagonizing people. Pure
Was
villain.
Micah that friend that you kept around because you're like, I hate this guy, but I want to see what he fucking does
What-
next?
No,
What's
no,
next?
no. Pure love. This guy. So much
That's beautiful.
entertainment.
That's beautiful.
So he's got like 12 personalities at this point, between his spitting on the floor drunk and his like very responsible presidential self of the fraternity. But we're kind of developing layers here. We're peeling back the layers of the
Okay.
onion.
When,
So
when I think of Micah like saying that's the Rolls Royce of foosball and then destroying it, like the table, It's like one of the little kids like, oh, I love puppies, and they like choke the puppy out and like pull its ears off and stuff.
He gets an ice cream cone and just smashes it in someone's face. Yeah.
Lenny's it to death.
So you got kicked out of Fieldhouse, and I'm
Right.
guessing you made your way down to Jimmy John's because it's a couple doors down from Fieldhouse.
Right. So, describing the scene, you walk out of Fieldhouse. On your immediate right, there is a Jimmy John's, and this particular Jimmy John's has like a giant bay-style window.
Yeah.
It's like 10 feet by 10 feet, so like you can see all of the street right out in front of you. So Micah is antsy to go home because he's so drunk he probably needs to go to sleep. I'm not sure exactly what his logic was, but he was antsy to be going home. And I was like, yo, let me get a sandwich. 1 second. Just stand here on the corner like you can't come in. Just stand right here and behave. And like I told him that, like behave. He looked at me like, go fuck yourself.
Right.
And so I went inside thinking he got the message. Usually that's what that means. If he says go fuck yourself,
That's
he
an
knows.
affirmative, yeah.
He's like, okay, I know what you're trying to tell me. Okay. So I'm in there and I'm ordering, and my back is to the bay window, and I hear this loud crash into the window, and it kind of like starts to register on me, and I'm drunk. So I turn around and I look, and there's like a woman and her child. She's like holding a baby, and she's just like,
Wait, so I wasn't even joking about
this is a true story, 1,000% true. And I'm looking around, I'm like collecting these people's facial expressions, and it's like this woman, she's like pale as a sheet. There's this dude, like mouth, chin down to the floor, and I turn around to see what is going on. Like I thought it was like a terrorist attack. I don't know. It was a loud crash, and I look out there, and a chair has just ricocheted, like a plastic chair has just ricocheted off of the giant bay-style window, and Micah is not really even in the sidewalk. He's like halfway out into the street, and he looks at me right in the eye.
This is like the busiest street in downtown Columbia, too.
He has like bloodshot. He's just fuming, and he says, "Come on!" And I look at the Jimmy John's guy.
How long have you been inside?
I was in there for like 35 seconds. Just so fast, you freak,
Jimmy
man.
John's. You were gonna be like 3 minutes tops.
I don't know if the door closed by the time he picked up the chair to throw it. After I walked in, so I turn around to the Jimmy John's guy. I'm like, "Yo, I gotta go. Like, let's go." And so
Yeah, I know.
he wrapped up the sandwich and I rolled. And so it doesn't even end there though. So I come outside and I talk down to him a little bit because he's acting like a buffoon in public, like he likes to do.
You just tried to throw a chair through the Jimmy John's window, and you're like, now.
Yeah. So I let him know.
You're so lucky that bounced off the fucking window.
Oh my
dude.
God.
Okay.
It's like one of those little white plastic.
yeah,
outside.
yeah,
I mean,
but
it doesn't
still,
mean it
like
shouldn't go
patio
through. If you were
furniture.
to like Olympic hurl a chair into the window, which he did, you would think that could maybe break it.
Yeah.
So
it's like the type of day where if you're like a townie, you're just like, I can't raise
well,
children.
and like
here.
the worst part is like it's like 2:30 p.m. by now. Like
Yeah.
this isn't middle of the night. This is midday. And so I go out there and I'm like, Micah, why did you what is wrong with you? What is wrong with
Yeah.
you? So he's like, okay, let's go home.
Wait, did he explain?
No, there's
Why
never no, Micah. That's his thing though, dude. Like he won't acknowledge. He just like is like,
He'll just
yeah,
call
I
you a
did that.
shithead
I'm not
and
telling you
go
why.
on with his day.
Right.
Spit on
He'll just ignore
on the
you and
floor.
just
Yeah.
hawk one on the floor.
you, bro.
So I realize that I'm not getting through to him with my explanation of why that's not socially acceptable. And we start walking home, and as we're walking, he's kind of like stumbling. So like I'm standing on like closer to the curb, like so that he doesn't stumble in the street. And as cars start coming up, he starts trying to push me into oncoming traffic whenever he gets a chance to. Just cause like there's no reason for this.
Dude, you're a psychopath.
I'm like spotting the man, and he's like trying to like bull rush me out into traffic.
Jesus.
And like traffic is not sober. Like Columbia game day goes hard. So
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
you could
college
imagine.
town. Yeah.
And you're walking down. Are you on College or Broadway at this point?
So
I mean, they're both big ass streets.
College at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and like there aren't the pedestrian bridges there or anything. Like we're out in the open.
Yeah, College
like,
is a
if I had
big
fallen
fucking
off the
street.
curb, I'm on somebody's bumper. I'm
they
eating
don't-
a bumper for sure.
And it's like 35. It's like a 35, 40 mile an hour speed limit. I mean, like people are going fast enough that you are just fucking.
He
dead.
wasn't joking.
Yeah.
He was shoving me into oncoming
Yeah.
traffic. Luckily, I'm an athlete, and it didn't work out for him. And that was the end of a long, long day that ended at 3 p.m. Central Time.
Jesus Christ.
My God.
What? All right.
Okay.
What does double plays mean? I actually respect Mike a little more after that story, to be honest.
Well,
Like,
so-
the
That's
chair
hilarious.
part's fucking great.
That sounds like a
The
honestly.
fa-
That
the
sounds like a
fact-
Gleason story.
That sounds like a Gleason story that I like don't tell angrily to people.
The story about
Yeah.
like, do you still just drunkenly spit everywhere?
I hadn't seen it lately.
Okay.
I keep
Lately.
an eye out. I watch for the mannerisms.
But I mean, it's kind of like what is it, Pavlov's dog? Like, I'm sure your mouth salivates still when you get really drunk. What do you just swallow it, or what's the deal?
That's a weird question.
Well, no, he's conditioned. He's clearly conditioned to have a
what's
lot of
this
saliva
double
now when
plays?
he's
Yeah, what's
drunk.
double plays mean?
I want to know.
Micah matures. He's no longer throwing chairs into windows and becomes the president of our fraternity.
Right.
So he has executive control over our checkbook. And this would be another game day when I chose not to grow up along with Micah. Like, I was still doing the whole social chair, going to the bars, like acting like a college kid. And Micah was like building his resume, you know, polishing his resume, you know, building it up, doing what he can to make himself prepared for the professional world, which more power to him. So we had been drinking all day, and Micah had drinking a little bit, and he came home to take a nap, and he locked his door. We live in the annex of the KA house, so like if you could imagine, the annex is made up of 4 suites. A suite has like a giant central room and then 4 connecting rooms. So the president's is the first door on the left, and it's like real thick, like this giant thick door for no other reason than so that it can't get kicked down, I guess.
Right. Obvious reasons.
That's solid reasoning.
So we want to order. What was the name of the pizza place that we used to order from? Gumby's or Wise Guys? We had a fraternity brother named Spook, and he would just order all the meat. He'd call in a large pizza and just ask for
curious
all
as
the
to
meat.
The ethnicity of Spook.
White,
Oh, okay.
young white male.
Okay, spooky.
He just acted spooky.
So
All
he
right.
he got the name Spook because he walked to Super Walmart at 4 a.m. as a pledge and got an industrial-sized bucket of cheese balls and was seen walking back at 5 a.m. just eating his cheese balls, being spooky and weird. So we called him Spook for like we've called him it for probably like 12 years now. Spook. So anyways, not to get off track here, like
Solid.
one of y'all's endorsements.
Yeah.
But
No, we like it's okay. We like it. Yeah.
eventually you get back full circle.
Banter's
So
good, yeah.
Micah has locked us out, and we want a pizza with all the meats and probably some booze. It's like kind of like in the evening. So when Micah won't open his door, we decide to start turning double plays. And what that means is you have like a natty light, and one guy's on one corner of the room, and another guy's on the other corner of the room, and you pretend like you're turning double plays with the beer that's
Right.
unopened. So one guy catches it, throws it to the other guy catches it, and crow hop throws it into Micah's door so that it explodes everywhere.
We need
So-
to start getting videos of that for Instagram.
Yeah.
We really.
Some,
that's our next
some
thing.
double
Double
plays?
plays.
Turning double plays.
Turning
And,
double plays.
Like, so baseball's super popular in Missouri, and the Cardinals and all this, that, and the other.
One guy
So-
tosses it to the other guy just like
Yes.
beams
Whips it
it into
into
a door like he's
So-
throwing it to first base.
So you
Yeah.
like you
God, that's
you
awesome.
you pretend to field the grounder.
yeah.
You throw it to second base. Second base turns the double play hard into your door,
That's hilarious.
and then it
Guys,
explodes
send
all
us,
over.
Send us your. I'm dead serious. Send us your videos of you double playing a beer. You
That's
just
funny.
heard how to do it. Like seriously,
Turn a double play.
turn a double play. Send us your videos. Email. What's the email, Jared?
Instagram at totalfratmove.com.
Email Instagram at totalfratmove.com. Turning double plays. You will make it on the Instagram probably if it's pretty fucking funny.
So, needless to say, he's not opening the door.
Such needless destruction. It's so funny.
yeah.
It's a TFM. Yeah,
Micah,
all right,
are
go
you
on.
hearing these loud pops on your door?
All right,
Probably.
No, he's like dead ass asleep probably. So, we kind of lose interest in turning double plays, and we probably
How
cracked
many
like
double plays did you turn?
It's tough to say. It's been many years now. I would
like that
imagine
you
we did
wanted-
it for a while.
I like that you wanted more booze, and to get more booze,
You're throwing away all your booze.
No. To clarify, we wanted pizza and liquor, and we had beer.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, unlimited amounts of beer.
Oh, fair.
So yeah, that was the solution. Turn double plays.
And it didn't work though.
No, it didn't work out so well. And so like we go to the drawing board, and we're trying to think of ways that we can get in to the Ham's room so that we can get the checkbook without him stopping us because he was playing prevent. Like this is basically we're going to get these social chair fees so we could spend it on pizza for 5 people. It was not right. It was not cool. Like, it was not a good thing to do in retrospect. So anyhow,
Such solid, like, misuse of funds.
That's what happens when
abuse would be the,
Yeah,
I think,
are in
the
charge of
perfect.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, when you give 20-year-olds like a $20,000 bank account.
Do what you will.
So I don't know if like we went into another suite so that he wouldn't like hear people mulling around so that he might come out. I don't know what our like plan was, but
It's like a groundhog. You're like, shh, be quiet.
we were probably thinking very deeply about how to trick Micah. And at some point, a girl had come over and gone into his room without, unbeknownst to us.
Whoa.
Right.
Micah.
So the president's room is on the bottom left floor of the annex, and there's like a window that's probably like 7 feet up from the ground. So we decided that between 2 people, one on the other's shoulders, you could hike the other one up into the window, no problem. And so like we go around, we check to see if it's locked. I've got my buddy on my shoulders, and it's open. So we're like, okay, fuck it, we're going in here. So I hoist him in there, and then I take like a running start and jump so that my torso's like 3/4 in the window. It's a long way up. I don't know if I said I was an athlete. It was athletic. So I jump up there, and it's pretty dark in the room. And as I'm like kind of like coming into the window, my other buddy's like full in there and realizes that there's a girl in bed with them, and they're kind of like fooling around. So he yells, "Abort! Abort! There's a girl in here!" And I didn't know what to do, so I just did like this log roll into his closet and just laid there still. And like obviously like you could just see as clear as day I was just sitting in there. And Mike is like, "Get out of my room, asshole! Get out!" And then he like I didn't move, so he like got up to come like shoo me out like a varmint. And while he was dealing with me, my buddy that had been on my shoulders went around behind him, got the checkbook, and then we went out the back door and bought the pizza.
Nice.
There you
And it
go.
worked.
Micah, did you go in the back door after they went out the back door?
It ruined the moment.
They cock.
She was much more scared than I was. I'm sure. Yeah, someone
Ham
just
says,
flies
Ham
into the
says
window.
this. Ham says that 2 men flying into his window cock blocked him.
She'd probably been hearing like loud thuds, beers smashing against doors down the hallway.
The 2 guys just coming through a 7-foot-tall window.
To be fair, she
Give us
doesn't.
your money.
She doesn't. Yeah, seriously.
They were there to rob
She doesn't know
You
that
got
they-
robbed.
That's a home invasion.
We just wanted a checkbook. We didn't want a cash. We just wanted checks.
She thinks she thinks like 2 burglars are coming in, and Mike is just like, "Get out of here!"
Shoo.
Yeah.
So we got the
You
check,
guys are honest,
and
dude.
we would always sign it Donald Duck. And then the pizza man came and dropped the pizza.
Nice.
It worked
All right.
well.
All right, now we have one more, I believe. It just says hangover. What?
This would be postgraduate, so I don't know if y'all want to go through.
Yeah, no, we want to hear about Ham's. We want to hear Ham's whole life story.
It just keeps getting darker and darker. You would think it's about to get light again, but
Yeah, just it's a downward spiral.
so
Ever
this
since he survived that donkey attack as a 6-year-old.
right.
Wait, what?
What are you talking?
Are you saying Micah is John Benet Ramsey?
No, he survived a similar ordeal.
It's an interesting leap in logic that because he was a 6-year-old attacked by a donkey, he is John Benet.
Yes.
I see where this podcast gets its like theories and stuff going here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of creative juices flowing around here.
Yeah. There are no bad ideas
Do
when
you
it
guys
comes
think?
to
Do you
the
guys
murder
think
of
Ham
children
is
in
John
this.
Benet Ramsey?
Donkey shows are the catalyst.
Yeah.
They say
of
Katy
creativity.
Perry's John Benet Ramsey, but I think it's Micah.
So now we're into postgraduate years, and Micah is a TV producer for like a morning news station in Austin. So what that means is he goes to work at 2 a.m. or what time you go? So he'd go in at midnight and come home like late, 9 a.m. So not even night, like full on morning. So his going out schedule is totally screwed. Like he'd drop us up at the bars on his way to work often. So the one day that he has off on it's like a Monday, and he's like, "Let's go watch The Hangover." This is The Hangover 1, just come out in the movie theaters. And he's like, "I'm gonna take a whole bottle of wild turkey in there."
Jesus Christ.
And like we're all like just gotten off work, like
0
put in
to
an 8-hour
100.
day, and Micah's like, he just got bad intentions for his Monday night.
Took a bottle of wild turkey into the movie theater.
So
based on previous,
It's a 2-hour movie. What are you doing with
Well,
the whole
so-
bottle?
that's a lot.
it was a lot. And so the thing is, like, he asked my brother. My brother was with us, my younger brother, and he's like, "Hey, would you drink some of this turkey with me?" He's like,
Okay.
"Yeah, okay."
Straight wild turkey. Did you buy a soda? Or anything?
Yeah, they
Okay, he bought a soda.
They had a soda, but my brother totally sandbagged him. Like, he drank 0 drinks. So Micah kills this entire fifth of wild turkey. He liked the 101 flavor, the super strong stuff. So, like, he's starting to like get that look and like spitting on the floor. Like, you could just tell like there's like
Was
things
he actually
happening.
spitting on the floor?
Yes, I'm telling you. You can just see like the
Garbage.
he's got these bad intentions just flowing around behind his eyebrows. And
Gross. How does this? God, based on the previous stories, like I'm really afraid like a murder is going to be the end result, like a vehicular manslaughter.
Just like rip out.
So yeah, Micah
I
drove
don't think he's a
home
murderer. I
and,
think he's more of like he just wants to cause social chaos at times, and then he just like
I believe that he
Backs up.
probably when he voted against Hoover, he was probably drunk, spitting on the floor of the voting booth, just like, "Oh fuck you, you motherfuckers! Find a new ride home."
So you can see the eagle has landed. Like Micah is bombed, and it's like an hour into the movie or whatever, and he like is like wiggling around. He's all drunk and sweaty, like kind of like starts muttering to himself, and like he tries to put down the empty bottle of wild turkey, and it just misses like the step and just rolls all the way down the movie theater. Just bing, bang, 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 bang. And everybody's just like looking around, like nobody is even wondering who it is. Like it's 100% that guy, that sweaty drunk animal in the back. And so like we're all like
sweating his ass off, spitting on the floor. Jesus Christ.
we're all
What? Who are you?
so we're trying to contain him at this point. Like it's time for damage control. And I don't know if y'all remember the movie. There's a part where Mike Tyson punches the shit out of the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like in every preview, right?
Yeah.
So as the scene approaches, Mike has seen the preview like 20 times, so he knows exactly what's about to happen. He like is gearing up for this. And right before Mike Tyson cold cocks the guy, he goes, "Oh shit!" as loud as he can in the middle of the theater. And everybody's just like, all right. Drunkest guy ever to come to Barton Creek Square Mall Theater. This was not
right here.
Yeah.
That was at this mall.
It's closed now. They condemned the place.
No. Barton
Not
Creek's
because
still
of this, but probably should have been because
open.
of this.
Barton Creek's still open.
The one that's across. There's two in Barton Creek. Yeah, this is before your time.
Okay.
So like there was one in the mall and then there was one across the street. It made very little sense, but that was the way they did it. So that's not even the worst part though. So like
How is none of that?
that's the worst part in public.
Oh God.
So we get him out of there. Movie ends. It was very good. And we go home and like I got work in the morning. Like everybody's going to bed. Like it's probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And so our house is 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom in the main house, and then I have a back house with another like full bedroom bathroom setup. And then the laundry room is like outside in our backyard connected to my back house. So like I'm getting ready for bed and I start hearing like this noise out in our backyard, like some just dragging something through our yard. Just sounded very odd, to say the least.
Like there's like a bear going through your trash
Yeah,
cans.
just
basically.
dragging some sort of giant bag through our yard. And I have like a window over my door, and I look out, and I see Micah, and I at first think he's just shirtless, dragging his laundry bin across our yard, like not lifting it because he's too like drunk and lazy. He's just dragging all his dirty clothes across our yard. And I open the door, and he's buck-ass naked.
Oh my God.
Ass out, naked. And he's just trolling his way all the way over to the laundry machine, gets all his stuff loaded up in there, and all the while I'm definitely yelling and hooting at him and being as rude as possible, encouraging him to be worse, tell him to go out into the streets and do things. So that sort of ends. Like he goes back and forth dragging things to and from our house. I don't know why or what he's doing. Mostly he's just a drunk animal. That's what he's just being a primal.
So Micah's
creature.
autopilot. He just picks things up.
No,
moves,
doesn't even pick
put-
them up. Just drags.
He just
things.
drags things to other places and then goes to another place and drags something else away from there. He just drags things.
I can't tell you what his goal was. I just know he was doing random bizarre shit as a very intoxicated man. So this goes on for a little while, and then he's done. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to bed. Like, no big deal. And I like you can hear the pipes in our house. I hear the water like turn on. I'm like, okay, good. He's gonna like sober up and take a shower. Like hopefully pull it together. So like I'm laying down, like I'm hanging out for a while, and like an hour goes by and the water's still running. I'm like, what the fuck? So finally I get out of bed and I go into our main house and I like knock on the door and I step in like this giant puddle of water on the floor.
Oh my God.
Okay, I have a question. At this point, out of 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely were you that he was dead?
Oh no, I knew he was alive.
Oh, you knew?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
he wouldn't go out like that. He would have to like, cause as much chaos as possible.
Right, it wouldn't just
He
be like a
needed to
nice
do like
accident.
20 times more damage before
Okay.
he's ready to like croak. So like I knew he was in there like floating
Face
around or
up.
doing something weird. So if I get the door open and the water's like coming out the bottom of it and he's falling asleep in the bathtub with the water running and it's just pouring over the side of it. So like slap him in the face and he wakes up and he's discombobulated. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get out of here. And so like I coax him to like sit up and he won't do it. So eventually like I kick the drain out with my foot, and I don't want to put my hand in his nasty ham water. So, like, it drains.
Hot dog water.
It drains, and I turn the water off, right? And so he refuses to get out, though. He's just laying in an empty tub. I'm like, get out of there. Nah. That's all he say. Nah. And then, I left him in there. I went back to bed, and like, I'm just settling in, and the water fires back up. Are you kidding me?
Was this like a cry for help? Or are you trying to like just kind of like?
No, he's just being him. He's just doing it. He's just killing a Monday solo.
It's just like no one else is up. Go to sauna this bitch. Like
So-
let's go.
So fucking aggressive.
Yeah, dude.
Unnecessary
Let me
and
flood this
aggressive.
bitch one more time.
So the water fires back up, and I'm like, God damn it. And like I'm not doing anything. I'm letting him drown. So I like lay there and like I start panicking. 15 minutes later, I'm like, he's definitely drowning. All right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go get him out of
yeah.
there. So I go in there, water's coming out the bottom of the door again. The bathtub's overflowed. Micah's assed out. Like he's luckily has like a double chin that has his face propped above the level of water. So he's just like sawing logs in the bathtub. And I finally get his ass out of there. I'm like, come on, let's go. And he like stumbles and rolls around his way all the way to bed. Naked. Soaking ass wet. Like ruining everything. And so like I get in bed and like I don't know exactly when this email arrived in my inbox, but it had to have been like after that point, like maybe like 10 minutes later. And he just wrote me an email that said, "You're the man's man, Brad Key." And that was it.
An email?
An email. He emailed me that I'm the man.
Shoot me an email.
How bizarre is that?
That's
Fucking weirdo.
This is the behavior of a psychopath.
dude.
He's like just like creating piles of random objects, trying to drown himself in the bathtub, and
this
then
will
sending
be
you
my
email,
monument. Yeah.
drinking a fucking fifth.
He's
of
quite
Wild
resilient, though. There was
yeah.
never a doubt that he was going to drown in that bathtub.
Good
He could have,
God.
but
Oh my
then where would
God.
we be with podcasting?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
here.
glad he didn't.
So
Oh, but by the way, anytime he does something that pisses me off, I always tell him, "I hope you drown in the bathtub." Oh, I hope he fucking drowns. Something of that nature.
I kind of like that. All right, we're
That's
gonna
not
get to our. That is the Hampocalypse for this week.
Yeah,
Wow.
Hampocalypse now.
Hampocalypse now. I hope you enjoyed.
There was a lot of fury in that. See?
Final.
Yeah.
So after learning so much about Ham, what are your thoughts on him now, Jared?
Key takeaways.
No comment.
What? No, we're coming back to you, Jake. What do you?
I really want to get him blackout drunk.
Me
like
too.
spit on the floor drunk is what I'm going to refer to it as now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So I can just encourage him. I'll coax him.
Yeah.
We'll get him bombed, and I'll be like, "Hey, remember when you used to spit on the floor?" And then he'll just start spitting on the floor.
No.
The only drunk I know for Micah is ask your girlfriend if you've ever put it in her butt drunk. That's Micah's drunk.
put it in her
That's
butt.
the new
Yeah.
spit in the floor.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened, Micah?
Micah just likes to inquire about Jared's girlfriend's anus and
Yeah,
its
he did
usage.
the one. Yeah, he did that one.
Semi-personal stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you asked it, Brad, totally fine with that, totally normal. But
I
Micah
can't see that
doing it,
happening though.
I can't either. But like if it did, whatever. But Micah doing it,
It's the behavior of a villain.
it is.
Back to the
He is a
central
villain.
theme.
He just kind of saunters over, spits on the floor, is like, so.
Hams, you know what? What I
No,
what I-
no.
That anus.
It's not nearly that nonchalant.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of chaos.
what I generally gather is that like there's an alternate universe, maybe the multiverse theory. There's like millions of alternate dimensions. There's at least one where society is collapsed somewhat, and Micah is like a psychotic, murderous ruler in this post-apocalyptic society where like he came to power through cunning and betrayal and just like poisons his enemies.
This sounds like a TFM Halloween special.
Sounds like a recurring series.
Yeah, I mean that's really what I gather is that there's like a part of you that is just in another world.
Yeah, like while he was talking about you dragging stuff around, there was a look on your face like you'd never understand.
Was he giving you the "I'm better than you"
He
look?
was just kind of like staring at it, like scoping the room, like you'd never understand my plan for that. Like,
It was calculated.
there was a purpose to that.
Well, yeah, let's get him blackout drunk and just film him for a while, like dragging things around.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get to the hotline calls now. That number is 800-392-6344. Call us with your questions or comments. We especially enjoy it when you're drunk. So anyway, again, that number is 800-392-6344. Call the Inside TFM Hotline. Let's get to the calls.
What up, TFM? Yo, J-Bone. More like J Stone. I'm going to tell you guys a little story about me and J-Bone here back in the day. Call him J Stone because we used to, after going out to the bars, we rolled a nice fat one. One night, J-Bone laced our blood with massive amounts of crack cocaine. Without informing any of us, he pulled such an irresponsible move. He then turned to me and stated, "Time to go tongue punch some fart boxes." I asked him, "What do you mean tongue punch some fart boxes?" He goes, "You're going to find out." So our sleeping pledge brothers in the other room, he walks on in, pulls down their underpants, and just starts eating their assholes. Just fucking going to town. And he turns to me and goes, "And that's how you tongue punch a fart box." So, moral of the story is, don't smoke crack with J-Bone.
Yeah, you heard it. So that's
Yeah, don't do it if you can't handle it, pussy.
we another thing we do is we like to encourage people who went to college with Jared, or people to just claim they went to college with Jared,
Or like know him from high school, like this.
yeah,
story, yeah.
and to call the hotline with stories about Jared from his youth, much like the ham stories today. And this gentleman just informed us that Jared once smoked marijuana laced with crack cocaine. That he laced
I laced it.
Yeah.
with crack cocaine.
It was mostly crack.
without-
it was like a little bit of marijuana and a lot of crack.
You
Yeah.
knew that person who called?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was
That's
just
a-
a figment of his imagination.
Oh no, this
No.
happened, Brad.
Yeah, and
This
then
happened.
Jared
Crack.
ate the assholes.
And then I ate his friend's assholes.
Yeah.
Bad aftertaste of crack and butt.
I don't know what's worse.
Crack on crack.
It's not like that's not like an orange. That's like the new orange juice and toothpaste combo. Crack and
Oh,
butt.
Crack and butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it's necessary.
All right, we're going to the next call here.
All right, guys. I got a butler, and I got a dumb drunk thing of the week. So, there's this girl, right? She was my girlfriend at the time. We did butt stuff, right? So fuck you guys for saying butt stuff 2016. The butt stuff. She shit on my dick. Freak out. I ran out of my room. And then when my brother saw me and was like, "Dude, that's how you get UTI." And I was freaking the fuck out. So I took some Neosporin, shoved on my dick, and I couldn't pee for like 2 days. And that's the dumb drunk thing of the week. Go Dogs. We beat Villanova. Fuck Villanova.
Did he say UTF?
UTI.
A UTI,
So
Oh.
a urinary tract infection.
so
I know. I
he-
was trying to figure out the F. I was
he-
like, what the fuck?
this guy
He had anal sex without a condom on.
You got shit.
He got shit on his dick, and he was so nervous about getting a UTI that did he put the Neosporin in his pee hole?
I think his pee hole was clogged with Neosporin and shit, probably.
Ugh.
And he couldn't pee
God.
for 2 days.
That's not the way to go.
That's what happens to kids in Indiana, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all you got's basketball. You get that.
Man.
That was rough. That was rough to
Yeah.
listen to.
All right, next call.
Hey boys, it's Andrew calling here. Actually calling from Canada. Be more specific, I'm calling from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. For those Americans who don't know, Alberta is that province where that fucking guy drove through the Tim Hortons drive-thru with the Zamboni, and that other fucking guy punched a cougar in the face to save his dog. So yeah, first of all, my fucking whole goal here was to be so drunk that I didn't remember calling the boys, and then I would fucking listen to the podcast later and hear my own drunk ass on it. Yeah, fuck, I don't know. Basically calling to say, here in fucking Canada, in Alberta specifically, you can drink at 18. So I don't know why more of you fucking guys don't come here when you're 18 to drink.
So we can drink it at 18 in America too.
Calgary's got the Stampede going on during the summer. That's a real time. And I was just maybe give the boys an opinion on why more of you guys don't come here and just get fucked up when you're 18, 19, and 20 while you're still underage in America. Anyways, podcast is right on, and keep it going, boys. Thanks.
I know people who live near the border do that, and they'll just drive across the border and drink
Yeah,
there.
you would know. You lived up north for a few years.
I know why I didn't, because Mexico was way closer to Austin.
Yeah. You ever go across the border to go drink?
Yeah.
Did you ever illegally cross the border to go drink?
I doubt it. I don't know how you even do that. You mean like swim across?
Yeah.
Nah. I just walked my white ass across the bridge and showed him my passport and it was good.
Nice.
Right? Matamoros, isn't that where we'd go?
Wait, what's that like?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
You go like you just like walk through the streets and people try to sell you stuff and you just barter. Like someone tried to sell me steroids last time I was there.
Dude, that's
They're like,
tight.
you can just do it in the back of my place. I've got needles, and I was like, I don't want
sounds
steroids to
great.
begin with. That happened for real. Lots of prescription drug sales.
That's something that sounds funny if one of your boys like, I did steroids, and then he gets AIDS and it's not
Yeah.
funny anymore.
Yeah, that's not something I ever really want to hear from anyone. I got needles.
Do
I got needles.
Do you need needles? I've got them.
I got them.
Do you guys know anyone who's was in a fraternity in Canada? Like, what is that like?
Yeah,
I've always been interested
on the
in this.
cruise.
Oh, yeah.
We met those ATOs.
Because I know like tons and
But no,
tons of
one-
hot girls submit pictures to us from Canada. Like, there's always
Oh my god,
some in the
of
rotation.
some of
at
those
some point. So,
Canadian
like,
chicks are fucking ridiculous.
you would think that it's pretty fun to drink beer with them, and I would imagine it's pretty good
I would guess
fraternity
so.
culture.
Anyway, the reason more people don't come to Canada is because it's a fucking different country.
Yeah, it's a lot of process.
Yeah, I also
A lot of hoops
while
and-
that call was playing, Jake was like, "Wow, this, Alberta sounds like the Florida of Canada, based on the Zamboni and the cougar."
I feel
thing.
like I'd fit right in there.
What was the Zamboni story?
What is a
Drove through
Zamboni?
a Zamboni smooths the ice on like an ice rink. It's the machine they ride around on.
Oh.
And he rode his Zamboni through a Tim Hortons drive-through. And if you don't know, Tim Hortons is like the Dunkin' Donuts, but like nationally in Canada. It's like, you know how everyone's like, oh my God, Waffle House, or oh my God, like Huddle House or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like that, but for all of Canada. It's Tim Hortons. Like everyone does that.
All right, next call. Also, I know what fucking you got an NHL team. We know what Calgary is.
Yeah.
All right.
We beat their ass.
Hey, Inside TFM. This is Jackie from Maryland. I'm a big fan of the podcast. I'm calling because I went to a super lame small school that doesn't have a football team. So I really missed out on the tailgating experience when I was in undergrad. I actually just graduated last May. But a couple of my sorority sisters and I want to plan a road trip down to an SEC school for this fall so we can go tailgate and get the full experience. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on which school we should go to. Thanks, guys.
Georgia.
Okay. The
Ole
answer is
Miss.
Georgia.
Georgia.
Okay, here's the thing, actually. Athens, Georgia, that was like the best weekend of my fucking life, was going to Athens, Georgia last year. LSU is really fun. I will say this. It's got to be for me, especially for a group of girls who might want a little more civilization, I guess. Like, it's got to be between Ole Miss and Athens, I think.
Ole Miss is awesome.
The only thing that's not great about Athens, that the tailgating was really spread out, and like it was like there was no like one place for it that I could tell. Whereas at Ole Miss, if you're more interested in the tailgating, definitely go to Ole Miss. Like, that's an experience.
Yeah, if you end up at Baton Rouge, the parade grounds are good for a central location too.
Right, and that's the thing.
That's
Georgia didn't have that.
See, I've never been, so I've always wanted to go to Athens. There's no reason for Florida fans to go though, because we have the cocktail party. That's where I was going to chime in with. If you don't want to do a specific school, do the cocktail party.
Georgia, Florida, in Jacksonville.
And you're in a big city if you want that. If not, do like Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, because you can just walk around the Grove and be like, "We're not from here." I mean, you'll get free drinks and everything. The only thing that sucks about the Grove, although maybe the girls won't mind as much, is that there's no beer. They're like on a Micah drinking diet. So it's
wild turkey.
Yeah, just wild turkey only. But like you can have all the whiskey you want there, but no beer.
Really?
Why? Wait, you're not allowed to have beer?
Yeah, it's like a trash thing or something. It's like
that is the most southern thing I've ever heard.
Dude,
we're trying to do our parts to drink more liquor.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say I like Jake's suggestion. If you want to go to a specific school, I think Ole Miss or Georgia are your two best bets. I really couldn't. It's like picking a favorite child, to be honest.
If you want to have a good old time, though, you can also go to the University of Florida.
Woo!
Yeah, go Gators.
Jared, do you have any?
I've only been to Baton Rouge.
You haven't been to Gainesville even?
I've been to Gainesville, but never for a game day. So Baton Rouge was fun, but yeah, like Rob said, some of it is not really civilization. It's just
you
like
want to go to a game next year?
Street.
You want to go Gator game?
Maybe.
Well, the bars. The other thing too is that the bar situation in Baton Rouge is like there's just like 3 of them, which is weird. But yeah, I mean I love Baton Rouge. Don't get me wrong, but like there's like a million. There's like a million bars in Athens, and Ole Miss has a charming little downtown too. So I say Ole Miss or Athens. All right, next call.
It was like that when I got here.
Hey, I'm not leaving my name or school because the question I'm asking, but what's the best way to sneak into a sorority house to hook up with your slam? And have any of y'all ever done that and successfully gotten away with it, or have any funny stories? Because I need some advice on this. Thanks.
That sounded so creepy.
Oh, the first part of that was,
what's the best way to sneak into a sorority house?
I was about to just yell at Ham for letting a serial killer onto the hotline. But Jake, you have any advice on this? Brad, I feel like you've gone into a sorority house or two.
Well, when you form a strategy, you have to know who you're sneaking around. So we've got a middle-aged house mom, and that's your only obstacle. So it shouldn't be that difficult. You could probably walk through the front door. I doubt she can get off the couch.
Yeah, that's at the right time of night
or day.
Slap a wig on.
Yeah,
I mean, there's how many rooms do you think are in that sorority house? I doubt she's going to be walking her ass to all of those.
I mean, there's probably anywhere between in a sorority house, anywhere between 10 and 30 rooms.
Yeah, so just get in, then you're good.
Yeah. I don't think it's that hard. Also, this feels like something the girl should think about.
Yeah, just act like you've been there before, and it'll be all
good.
Yeah,
if she puts that onus on you, like, you really need to figure out how to get in here. Like, no, I don't.
Just casually walk in. Yeah. You'll be all right.
And you know what? Like, definitely don't sneak in unannounced. Like, you climbing up a sorority window without anyone knowing, that's going to lead to some unfortunate...
Don't quickly run in the door either. Yeah. Like, no one, you don't want people to think you're Ted Bundying the place, man. Like,
go Knowles. That's Florida State, right?
That was Florida State.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So make sure this is on her. This isn't your responsibility. Yeah. Have her figure it out.
Why do you want to even hook up there?
You're the
where are you?
You're the package.
Where's your place?
I get wanting to hook up there. You know, it's like boast. Like, oh, dude, yeah,
at the house.
I fucked her in Tridel. It was awesome.
I would be just like weirded out. I don't know. I never hooked up in a sorority house.
Me neither, sadly.
I was not freaked out by that. It's like I would just be like, oh man,
if this kid's not a pussy, he'll smoke some marijuana crack and fucking eat her ass.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what.
Do that, motherfucker. All right, so that's it for this week's Inside TFM podcast. Again, that hotline number is 800-392-6344. Call in with your weird calls. Do it drunk. We appreciate it when it's wasted. And just an FYI, the best way to get TFM content is with the TFM app. Download it in your app store today. Make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us 5 stars and leave a review. Check out our shows. Backdoor Cover. It's all about sports and football and shit. Dudes Doing Business is exactly what you think it is. And Touching Base with Post-Grad Problems. Tweet us. I'm at RobFox3. That's all spelled out, including the number. At Jared Borislow. And at Jake W. Goldman. Again, the hotline number is 800-392-6344. Just call, be drunk, and call. It'll be good. Also, check out mybookie.ag and get a bonus with the code FRAT, F-R-A-T. Very special thanks to our guest, Brad Key.
Thanks, Brad.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Those were some of the best stories I've ever heard on this podcast, to be honest.
I cried laughing when the bottle started rolling down the movie theater.
I was going to laugh that hard after the Jimmy John story, and then that story happened, and I was laughing just as hard.
Ham is a fucking animal.
One of a kind, that's for sure.
Ham, do you have any final words? Here you go.
He's shaking his head.
Do you guys ever have, tell people to call in with, a jingle for your call-in?
No.
Y'all should tell people to do that. I bet there should be some really terrible submissions, and they'd be great.
The only thing that I will say in defense of myself is that I'm going to need to listen to this podcast, and I may put together a little point-by-point retort. But no, 99% of the things Brad said were true.
Via PowerPoint? How are you going to retort this?
I have social media. Perhaps you can find me on Twitter.
Yeah, what are you on Twitter?
I want them to find me at Micah Weiner, MICAHWIENER.
Yeah, tweet mean things at Micah, and he will be 3 times as mean to you back.
Yeah, maybe. If you disrespect me, I will disrespect you.
You said that so creepily.
And if there are any women listening, you can follow me on Snapchat at MicahTX, MICAHTX. Thank you. I accept no friend requests from dudes.
You can't tell me there's not an alternate universe where he's a psychotic post-society ruler. Good Lord. I don't even know. Yeah, that's the only way to put it. I don't even know. Thank you for listening, guys. We'll be back next week.